News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Karen, the lift in futures comes on optimism. Trade tensions may be easing between the U.S. and China. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will hold talks with China's Vice Premier He Lifeng this weekend. The officials are due to meet in Switzerland Saturday and Sunday. These will be the first confirmed talks since President Trump announced tariffs of up to 145% on Chinese imports, and Beijing retaliated with its own levies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says current tariff rates are not sustainable and amount to a trade embargo.
Just hours after the talks were announced, Nathan, China took steps to boost its economy. The country's central bank cut its policy rate and lowered the amount of cash lenders must keep in reserve. Economists say the decisions demonstrate policymakers are acting with urgency to support the world's second-largest economy in the face of the U.S.-China trade war.
Now we turn to a tense situation in South Asia. Karen, India and Pakistan traded military strikes overnight, weeks after a militant attack in the disputed Kashmir region killed 26 people. India says it hit 9 targets, calling them known terror camps. Pakistan's military says the strikes killed 26 civilians. It responded by shooting down 5 Indian jets. We get more from Bloomberg New Delhi Bureau Chief Debjit Chakraborty.
Both the sides are saying that these were de-escalatory kind of moves. India has said that it only had one thing in their mind, just to target the militants which were trying to destabilize the Kashmir region, the economic development of that part. Pakistan has always said that we won't do anything unless India attacks.
Bloomberg's Debjit Chakraborty says the last time India and Pakistan came close to all-out war was 2019, when a suicide bomber killed 40 members of India's security forces. And Karen, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is looking for answers after last month's incident at New Jersey's Newark Airport that left air traffic controllers out of contact with planes for 90 seconds. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the air traffic control system is safe, but Schumer says he has plenty of concerns.
There are lots of questions about how they have handled themselves. First, the firing of so many employees under DOGE has weakened the FAA. Second, a good number of top-level people who are concerned with air safety and flight safety have left out of exasperation because they think the people who have been put in charge don't know what they're doing.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke on Bloomberg's Balance of Power. Transportation Secretary Duffy says a build-out of a new air traffic control system should be completed by the summer, but the current one has backups for pilots and controllers.
Nathan, President Trump met with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in the Oval Office. The leaders showed no signs of retreating from their differences in an ongoing trade war, and Bloomberg's Amy Morris reports from Washington.
After the meeting, Prime Minister Carney says there will be more talks.
We agreed to have further conversations in the coming weeks, and we are looking forward to meeting in person at the G7 summit in Kananaskis in Alberta.
President Trump told reporters there are no firm trade deals with Canada, China, or any other country.
They don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market.
As for Canada becoming the 51st state, Carney says it'll never be for sale, but Trump told Carney, never say never. In Washington, Amy Morris, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, Amy, thank you. Turning to markets now as investors and the Federal Reserve wait for clarity on the Trump administration's trade policies. The Fed is expected to leave interest rates unchanged this afternoon. We get a preview of the decision from Bloomberg's Michael McKee.
There's still no suspense at the Fed. Without any clear idea of who will be taxed, how much, and when, the central bank waits like everyone else for some idea of what the Trump tariffs will do to the economy. So there's little point in changing interest rates. Fed officials also don't provide new economic forecasts or a new dot plot at this meeting, which pretty much leaves Chairman Powell and his press conference as the only opportunity for headlines, which, given the circumstances, he will likely avoid as much as possible. Michael McKee, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, Mike, thanks. We'll stay with Bloomberg for full Federal Reserve coverage on a special edition of Bloomberg Surveillance. The Fed Decides. It begins at 1:30 p.m. Wall Street time on Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Podcasts page on YouTube.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.